What's good, America? Thanks to everybody who commented on the What's Good short and the What's Good video. Just want to let you know how the next couple of weeks are going to be shaken out. The next 2 weeks will be videos of planting the peppers and doing the pepper series. And then we have a new video from the mountain. We got about 17 inches and we had to get up there and push some snow off, and got some pretty good video on that. And we're gonna also have some videos for the Falcon Wild Peaks. We got to put them through a better test up on the mountain. There was quite a bit of snow and mud this last trip up there. So we'll be doing a review on the Wild Peaks pretty soon. And we're gonna be getting back up to the mountain again here in the next few weeks, probably at the end of February, to do some more snow removal, because we've gotten about another 24 to 30 inches of snow. But just want to let you know that we'll have a couple weeks of pepper videos, then we'll be throwing up that new video of snow removal. We're doing our first video in our pepper series, which is how to grow peppers from seeds to plants, harvesting and preserving them. And unfortunately, when we were going through looking for all the videos that we recorded last year to start the pepper videos, we discovered that we could not find our sowing video. Normally, I would do this in the backyard or in the kitchen, but we've gotten a little bit of snow. It's very wet in the back. The table that we use is in the garden and it's pretty muddy right now. And Lindsay's got the freeze dryer running in the kitchen, so it's way too loud in there. So we can't do this pepper video in there. So we're gonna do it on the tailgate of F-150, which is honestly one of my workbenches. This F-150 has the contractor's package in it, which is pretty nice because it actually lays out a little bit like a workbench. And it's got a nice little plug in here for the miter saw. It's got a little stand here for your phone and a nice little flat area. And it's also got a measuring tape on there, which is pretty useless most of the time. You got to use your tape measure, but you know, it give you a quick reference if you need to have one for some reason, which I do from time to time when I'm doing trim. By doing it this way, we usually end up with about 15 to 20 inch high plants, and they'll generally yield 10 to 15 peppers throughout the entire year. And they're easily as big as the ones at the grocery store, and you know, completely chemical free and non-GMO'd and heirloom. So actually what we do is we take a pepper at the end of the year or two, we take our favorite ones and we harvest the seeds. And I'm not sure, when I was looking through the videos, I'm not sure if we actually made a video of harvesting the seeds or not. So maybe I'll have to get a pepper and just kind of throw another video together like this. That's the magic and the beauty of YouTube, y'all. Lose a video, which it's probably in there somewhere, and we'll probably end up finding it someday. But there's just a lot of videos in there, and so we're looking through them, we made all these videos last year, so we're looking through trying to figure it out and just couldn't do it. And this video is supposed to come out next week, and we wanted to make sure that it comes out right around the time that you would be planting the peppers if this is something that you want to try to do this year. So the best time is going to be to sow those peppers the 3rd and the 4th week of February. All right, here is our biodegradable pots. I like using these pots because once we transplant them into the bigger pots, it doesn't restrict the roots at all. And when you pull them out to put them in the ground after about 4 months, you can see these giant root balls. So we've been using these for probably 10 years or something similar to these for the last 10 years. And these are our favorite ones. We need to go pick up some more, but hopefully we got that in the camera right there. This is what we use. This is the potting soil that we're using this year. I'll try to find online the other potting soil that was terrible, and we will try to stick it up in the corner of the video somewhere. But this is, we already used this potting soil to transplant last year, and it was a lot better soil. It absorbed the moisture way better, a lot less rocks, a lot less sticks. All right, let's get it. Got the good old blue collar workbench. Like I said, I've used this as a workbench many times, and on my other F-150s out on the job doing window replacements or door replacements, used the tailgate as a workbench, and up on the mountain used it as a workbench for tightening the saws and building projects up there. And this is the first time that I've ever used it to sow the seeds. So here we go. All right, got some water. Get some soil. Soil is really dry right now. No, that's what better soil looks like. You can only imagine what the other soil was like. These do not have drain holes in them. So I'm going to take my good old flathead screwdriver, multi-tool, and I'm going to, poke a hole. There we go. So the excess water can drain out of there. You want to definitely let that water drain out. Maybe a little more soil in there. Now, like I said, normally we would do this in the kitchen, but Lindsay has the freeze dryer running and it is way too loud. And I would do it in the garden, but we got snow and rain over the last few days and it's super muddy out there. So, blue collar workbench. All right. Get some water in here. You can see how that water's beating up. It's because the soil is really, really, really dry. And this is pretty normal. But on that other soil, it would not take at all. Mix it around a little bit. See, it's starting to drip through. Add a little more water. You can feel down in there, there's a whole bunch of soil that's not getting water to it. And that'll be your problem. Normally we'd plant about 10 bell peppers, but I don't think we're going to plant that many this year just because we've got such a heavy yield the last couple of years, and we use pickling to preserve our peppers. So we pickle our peppers, and we have that process from last year, and that'll be a part of these videos. But we just have so many, I think we'll probably do less. So instead of doing 10 peppers this year, we'll probably only do about 5, and we'll do the same amount of jalapenos, which will be 4. Actually, we'll probably just do 4. That way, we'll do 4 red bells and we'll do 4 jalapenos. That way we can have them close enough to, we'll put them in a little, we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they can all help cross-pollinate one another. And that's why we like to do them in 4s or 5 even numbers. So if we had 10, we would have a row of 5 and a row of 5, which you'll see on the upcoming videos, future videos. And you can see how moist that is. That is really, really good. Only problem is we need some more of that moisture to kind of drip down out of there because it's a little too wet to put the seeds in there. Now so you can see dry dirt in there. See that dry dirt down there? There's dry dirt in there. It's going to actually need a little bit more soil. Now, like I said, this is the stick. The one had big sticks though, and a bunch of rocks. All right, as I said at the beginning of the video, this is the first week of February, so this is a little too early for me to be planting these. But I figure, hey, let's have a little experiment and see what happens. Now, I have planted them a little bit too early, so I already know what's going to happen, but we'll see if we can get this, see if we can get these peppers to make it through. So when you plant it in the 3rd or 4th week of February, you want to put it in a southern window and watch the weather a little bit and make sure you're going to have consecutive days of sun, because what'll happen is the seed will rot, or it'll start to sprout and that green shoot will rot if it's not getting enough sun. It'll germinate, but it won't complete the process. More dirt. So normally I would do 10 red bells and 4 jalapenos, but since we're just doing this to have a video of the sowing, I'm only going to do the 1 today, and we'll have a little experiment. A little more dirt. Just slowly adding dirt to get it up to the level that I want. Got enough water in there, and just keep mixing it. There's some more lumber. Take that to the mountain and burn it on the fire pit. Burn it on Fire Mountain. We're going to have some pretty good videos coming out this spring. We got a lot of trees that got pushed over when we did the implement here and when we did the pad for the cabin, and we need to salvage those trees this year before all of the other plant life starts to grow up inside of them and make it difficult. So that's what you want your soil to look like right there. All right, we got our soil all nice and moist and wet, and we let all the excess water dry out. So we have the perfect amount of moisture. It's not too wet, and it's definitely not dry. Now you're gonna sow your seeds at about a 1/4 inch depth, but we're not just gonna make one tiny hole and put all 3 seeds in there. We're gonna put 3 seeds in, make one large hole, and then cover it. So we're just gonna push the soil to the side like this. A couple more 2x4s. Here we have some seeds from last year. These are 3rd generation seeds, and we're just going to take 3 of these seeds, throw them in different spots, mostly in the center, at approximately a 1/4 inch deep. If they're too deep, then the seeds will rot, and if it's too shallow, it's not deep enough, and if it's not deep enough, then the roots will wash to the surface when you're watering, and they will not take hold. So there it is. You make a 1/4 inch depression, basically just clear some dirt out at about a 1/4 inch, drop 3 seeds in, cover that back up, and we'll put it in our southern facing window, and in about 3 weeks we will have our first green shoots.